Ukraine's military chief says a new Russian offensive is underway. He says Ukrainian troops on the front lines have seen, quote, almost a doubling of the number of enemy attacks in all main directions. Ukrainian officials also say Russian drone attacks caused fire and damages in Kharkiv and Dnipro overnight. Let's bring in ABC News' Patrick Reevell for more on that. Patrick, what's Russia saying about this new offensive in Ukraine?
Hi, Dan. So far, we've not heard much from Russia talking about this offensive. But as you were saying, Ukraine's top commander, Oleksandr Syrskyi, gave an interview to a Ukrainian newspaper today where he confirmed that Russia does appear now to be launching a new offensive into Ukraine's Kharkiv and Sumy regions in the northeast. He said that Russia has increased its offensive operations there almost twofold in roughly the last week. And this follows President Zelensky saying that Russia was preparing to launch a major spring offensive in the coming weeks. It's happening as we are seeing the ground harden in Ukraine, and we're seeing as conditions are getting easier for Russia to mount this sort of offensive. But it's also, of course, happening as we've seen the Trump administration pushing for negotiations to end the war. At the moment, it appears that Vladimir Putin instead is trying to drag out negotiations, refusing a ceasefire, and instead seems to be trying to make gains on the battlefield, Diane.
Patrick, Ukraine says they've captured a Chinese citizen who's fighting for Russia. Is that a one-off or a sign that China is joining Russia in this war?
Hi, Dan. I think it's closer to a one-off than a sign that China is directly intervening in the war in Ukraine or is sending troops. What we've heard from a Ukrainian official today is that they understand that this Chinese citizen was basically paid by some organization to come to Russia. He was paid roughly $3,500 and then was trained in Russia and then was fighting with a Russian unit when he was captured by Ukrainian forces. So far, China has always been very cautious about directly supporting Russia, but it is crucial to helping Russia's war machine continue to function. It helps with sanctions evasion, and it helps by providing components. But it would be a dramatic shift if China were to be providing direct support with troops to Russia now, Diane.
Patrick Reevell, thank you.